Hi everyone, Sabrina here, Books at the Wernberg, and if you have noticed, I kind of made a promise to myself, sort of loosely, that I would try and give Jane Austen a reread this year. So I've started up with Sense and Sensibility. I'm actually listening to the audiobook read by Rosamund Pike of Wheel of Time fame. Now she is a beautiful narrator, she does a really good job. She is very clear, the characters have subtle differences, so when you hear their dialogue, you know who's talking in that passage. But I have a problem, and it's not with the book at all, and even then I fall asleep. So, you know, I have tried several audiobooks this year and have DNF'd a lot of them. Obviously, I'm picking books that I want to read, that I either have brought it down and there's someone on the floor down here, or that I'm intrigued in reading and just haven't got a physical copy, so I thought I'd try the audiobook and see if I could get on with it. And I have really struggled. Sometimes it's the narrator I've not got on with, sometimes I'm just sitting there going, what is going on? I don't know what it is about audiobooks. I can sit and focus, I can just do one thing at a time, but there's something about listening to audiobooks, I just tune out. It's really embarrassing. I'm sitting there, I'm eating my lunch, so I'm listening to this during my lunch break at work. So I'm eating my lunch, there's nobody else in the staff room, it's just me, there's no other background noise, and I'm trying to listen to this audiobook, and I'm sitting there listening to it going, which character is this? Who's just gone off to London? Why are they arguing? It's like I've missed huge chunks, even though I've been listening. It just hasn't gone in. So clearly audiobooks is not my strongest medium for reading stories, which is such a shame because it's a good way to get through a book. It's a great way to use that time when you can't just sit and focus on reading. And I feel really bad because there's a lot of effort gone into these productions. And like I say, the narrator is really good. Rosamund does a great job with it. I have no faults with that at all. But I'm just sitting there going, I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on in this story. I know about the money situation. I know that this family have been dumped in the house by the first wife because she doesn't want to lose the money inheritance for her son. I got all that. So I understood the context. But now it's got down to the actual like wooing and trying to marry the girls off, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know who's paired up with who. I don't understand why sister is not impressed with this man, and it's like I have been listening, but I clearly have missed huge chunks of information without even knowing it. And I wonder if it's just me. Now, dramatized audio I have no issues with, which is really weird. So maybe my brain needs those extra auditory cues. I need the sound effects. I need different actors being those characters. Or is it just I'm used to listening to dramatized audio because I grew up listening to Radio 4. There was always a play on the radio. We always had that on. You know, I grew up listening to The Archers on a Sunday with my gran. I'm used to audio being dramatized, and I can do stuff while listening to that, and it's not a problem. But having someone just sitting and reading a book to me is something I didn't do very often as a kid. I have a few stories on cassette. Yes, cassette. Go and look them up if you're too young. And that's all I have. But even then, I would have like had them on in the background while I was doing, say, my homework or I was colouring, and I would listen to them over and over again. So that's how I learnt the story, by repetitive listening. But now where I'm just trying to sit down and listen to a story, I'm finding it so hard. And I feel so bad because this is a great way for me to use time to read some of my books that I haven't got to. It also helps because my wrist is now suffering because obviously it's my book holding wrist, and I'm spraining it when I hold too many books for too long. And so I'm wearing a splint, which is really, really annoying because suddenly I can't do stuff in my hand that I'm used to doing because it's restrictive. Clearly it shows I've been overusing my hand and turning it into positions it really shouldn't be turning into for too long. But that's aside, so audiobook was a way of me getting through books without putting that extra pressure on my hand. And I'm struggling. There's been so few books that I've actually managed to get through this year on audio because I'm just drifting off going, I can't review this book because it's not going to be a fair review because I have failed in my ability to follow the story. It's nothing to do with the audiobook. I don't know if it's just me, if anyone else has this issue who just struggles with audiobooks. I know I have a friend who can't read manga. Their brain just doesn't do it for whatever reason. I've got another friend who can't do graphic novels for whatever reason. They just don't get on with them. So I'm aware that each medium has positives and negatives for different people. Am I one of those people that just is always going to struggle with an audiobook? And I was really hoping to, you know, get through some of these books a bit quicker. And I'm not playing it at faster speed. I'm playing it at the speed that it's been recorded. I've not sped it up or anything. So I haven't, it's not that's the issue. I am listening to it at standard speed. So it's not like I've missed something because it's going too fast. No, I've just missed it. Anyway, I will continue to attempt to listen to Sense and Sensibility. So far I am enjoying it. I'm certainly have learned a lot about, like I say, the money context and the social context of the time period, because obviously that's now quite alien to a lot of us, and we don't live in a world where women are considered property. I say that and realise what I've just said out loud and thinking, maybe, but you know what I mean. So I'm learning all about that, and I quite like the characters, but again, because I've kind of missed bits, I'm not quite sure who's who. I know, I'm so sorry, because I know for some people they love this book, and I'm just sitting here going, I don't know anything. So yeah, but I will finish this, and then I might actually pick the book up and physically read it again, just so it all goes in. Oh, the version I'm listening to is not abridged either, it is the full version, so it's not that I've got an issue either, I'm afraid. Forgive me. Please. I will finish that Sensibility, and I will dip into the book and go through it, and hopefully by reading the book I might actually pull it all together and then be able to give you my full thoughts on the story. But so far it's definitely very interesting, and yeah, seeing how people are working around the restrictions of the time period and having to marry for money and position and security, but also wanting to marry for love and all the qualifications that are needed for a man to be up to, I want to say, standard that some women would expect from the time period as well. Is he interested in what you're passionate about? You know, can he hold a conversation with you, or does he just bugger off with the men and go and have a drink kind of thing? So, you know, the more things change, the more things stay the same. So let me know your thoughts about audiobooks down below. Does anybody else actually struggle with them like I appear to be failing completely with them, or is it just me? And if you have any suggestions for getting through an audiobook for me, please let me know, because I want to. Anyway, that's my rambling thoughts on audiobooks and a bit about Sense and Sensibility. So thank you very much for watching, and as always, happy reading. Bye.